Hey, did you hear that Simone Biles won all of the medals? She won all of the medals. She won all of them. Meanwhile, everyone's talking about Imane Khelif, and I think it's kind of sad because, she never identified herself as a cis or I'm not, I mean, a non-cis or like, what do you call it? I call it trans person. She never identified as that. She identifies as a woman and always has her entire life because some weird test about testosterone popped out badly for her one time. I think it's really sad. I don't know. Do you care? Do you care about all this hullabaloo that's going on with Iman Khalif? I you know let's just call it what it is. People in the Olympics who operate at this elite level of athleticism, they're kind of like mutants. If you've ever read about Michael Phelps, his fingers, his hands, his arms are like 6 inches longer than normal proportions would allow. Like he's not shaped like a normal human. His torso, his legs and his feet are longer than normal quote unquote humans because of genetics, because of a trip of genetics. They've had something happened where he can swim faster than normal people. He's just faster because he was born physiologically different from other people. Now, if Iman Khalif is born a female, was female on her birth certificate, she's been female her whole life, she just might have a little bit of extra juice in a little bit of extra steam, so she's able to punch harder. Well, that makes sense. You know, people people get punched all the time in boxing sports and they lose in 46 seconds. It happens all the time in boxing. I remember Mike Tyson used to come out and just punch people and they'd be out in the first minute. I saw a fight with Conor McGregor against Aldo, an MMA fight. They come out, pop, punched him one time, he's out. He was done. That happens all the time. Under a minute, it's over. So I don't know. It seems very weird and sad that people are pointing at a person who, because of the way she was born, she was able to enter sports and find some place in the world, you know? And now they're saying, no, because of the way you were born, we don't like you and you're not a woman. Jeez Louise, man. This is a weird world we're living in. I find it perfectly acceptable that someone who is always a woman thinks that she's a woman as a woman in every way, and she's just stronger than other women. I mean, people are born like that. And then you can work out. If you're born kind of like with the proclivity for strength and you work out a lot, you should be able to beat up other people more quickly in the ring. I don't know. But then all these people like like J.K. Rowling, I knew something was up because I was like, maybe she popped the test on testosterone, and people are talking about her chromosomes, but we don't even know what the test was. It's not public what her medical history has been. All we know is that she's born a woman. She identifies as a woman. Never identified her entire life as a man or anything else other than a cisgendered woman. So I knew that. I guess if you feel differently about it, sometimes when I feel a certain way, and somebody like Ben Shapiro feels that way, you might want to go like, should I really feel that way? Because Ben Shapiro feels that way. There must be something wrong here. J.K. Rowling feels this way. There must be something weird going on. I don't know. The Olympics every year, there's so much drama. Is it even worth it? I think it's weird we do it. But, Mr. Beast's giant reality competition faces safety complaints from initial contestants. Yeah, no kidding. Did people not know that? Like, I'm surprised no one's died at one of his big, giant, crazy competition things. Mr. Beast makes these huge competitions where thousands of people compete for large cash prizes. I'm surprised that people haven't gotten hurt and died. Well, Mr. Beast keeps on having big problems lately. Hopefully, it'll mean that he won't ever be president. Getting punched in real life is not as cool as in the movies make it look. Yes, that's true. The movies make it look like you just go and then you're back. Getting punched hurts. I've been punched. It hurts. In fact, punching hurts. I have punched other people. It hurts. It hurts your hand. It hurts your hand a lot. It hurts your hand, and usually there's a big scuffle and you're on the ground more quickly than you would like. It's not good. Fighting hurts. Fighting hurts. Yeah, I always say I'm no endocrinologist, so I'm not qualified to make an expert's position, but they deserve the same respect as cis hetero peeps. She is cis. I don't know if she's hetero, but she's cis. She is. Well, she identifies as cis hetero because she's Algerian. They're going to hang her because everybody keeps talking about how she's not cis hetero. In Algeria, they kill people for being homosexual. It's against the law to be homosexual in Algeria. So as far as we're all concerned, she's cis hetero. You know what I mean? Her entire life. And now everyone's like, oh, an Italian lost a fight. Italians lose fights all the time. You know, this is like the same stuff when African Americans were allowed to start boxing against white people. The Italians and the Irish were like, wait a second, that's our thing. We're not allowed. You can't let black people in here and box us. We'll lose. They're not the same as us. Work out more. Like, it's so weird. Do you know, like, Jack London? It's kind of funny because one of my favorite writers, Jack London, he said really racist stuff about black people in boxing rings, saying that white people are intellectual, even though blacks are born with greater physical prowess. Whites are born with more intellectual prowess, and that's why a black boxer can never win against a white boxer. And he had to retract that statement. But Jack London was a smart guy. He actually did retract, and he recanted, and he said, "No, that's not true. I changed my mind about that." He was a product of his time, like anybody else, but he actually had the wherewithal and the understanding that, hey, people aren't that different. Human beings aren't that different. We're mostly the same. We're almost all the same. I hope you all will join me over at bigbirdisdead.com to please sign the petition to let Jim Henson know that animals are not ours to use. Their dead bodies are not ours to use. Their feathers ripped out while they're still alive. They're not ours to use to decorate puppets or for anything else. Please go to bigbirdisdead.com and check it out. Over at AccuWeather, which is the most exciting news source everyone knows is the most reliable news source in the world, you can always count on AccuWeather. They're saying that, hey, there's going to be a lot of sunsets in Alaska town for the first time since May 10th. They just finally are seeing sunsets in Alaska. Isn't that nice? I think it's cool. I think it's great. There's icy body bags and mobile coolers in America's hottest cities right now because people are going to be dying from heat exhaustion. It's also interesting is that what I think this is pretty insane that overwhelmed by the heat, the culprit may be in your medicine cabinet. They're saying that some psychotropic medicines might SSRIs. They have similar warnings every summer. The first time she did it, the response surprised her. I had assumed I was one of the people who didn't know this. I've been on sertraline for 8 years now. Nobody told me. Think about this. You can have all of this because you can have heat exhaustion because of antidepressants. This is kind of scary to me. It's the worrying side effect doctors and scientists are still trying to understand fully, especially in the world as the world heats up and punishing prolonged heat waves become more frequent. Drugs like Zoloft and Prozac can be life-saving, but they can also stop the body from regulating its temperature properly and decrease heat tolerance. This is, I think, I keep on saying that all the time. We're talking about the global climate change. Things are changing and will have unforeseen ramifications. People just think the weather's going to change, but it won't. The weather affects power lines. The power grid will go down because the heat creates more slack in the power lines and makes them far less efficient to send power from one area to another. heat makes them so slack that they can break and cause forest fires. The heat can make airplanes crash because they can't land and take off properly because of all the thermal updrafts. It's really frightening to me that now your SSRIs, all your psychotropics and your antidepressants, they can cause they can cause you to have less body regulation, temperature regulation, and less heat tolerance. That scares the crap out of me. I'm not even on this stuff, but I know a lot of people are. I mean, I know a lot of people, they're already 1 in 10 Americans are on antidepressants. That's a lot of people. And they're going to be going to restaurants and going out, and they're hot and they get bothered very easily. Think how terrifying it must be to not being able to regulate your own body temperature, and it's so hot out. You'd start freaking out, wouldn't you? You'd start yelling at people in the Walmart. I mean, you'd be so irritable, burning up inside. Oh my God, I'm so hot, I'm burning up. Yeah. I think if I'll get it, it's gorgeous out there in Alaska. That's what you got to do. You're right. If you are on antidepressants, go to Alaska. That's probably the best. That's probably your best bet because it's a little bit cooler up there. Antidepressants are so tricky. That's true. That's true. Steven Summers, you changed your name again. Funny now how Republicans think there are more than 2 genders. Do they? I guess they do. Oh, I guess they do because she's trans. But she's not trans. Like, when I first saw all of the stuff, I thought she was trans. And then I read the article and I'm like, wait a second, she's not. And then I finally Googled, is Imane Khelif a man? Is she male? And she's not. She was born female. She's always been female, has never come out as anything but female her whole life. Like, it's like, where's the controversy here? I guess, I mean, I could understand some controversy if, like, she was once competing as a man and is now competing as a woman, but that's not even what happened. That's not even, and even that is like, but she didn't even, she's never competed as a man. Why do people keep saying this? Why is this woman facing so much vitriol? I feel really bad for her. I feel really bad for her. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel bad for her. And I also feel bad for everyone on antidepressants who are going to feel really hot as the summer heats up, as we keep on getting hotter and hotter. What's going to happen is they'll have another drug. They'll give you antidepressants, and they'll give you another drug to help you regulate your heat in the summer that you'll only take for about 6 months out of the year. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee you, this is not a bug. It's a feature. They're not going to try to make better antidepressants. They're going to try to make another drug to help you regulate your heat in your own body. That's what's going to happen. Not a bug. That's what pharmaceutical industries do. The side effects are not bugs. They're features because they can sell you more drugs to handle the side effects. Pretty soon you'll be taking a handful of pills. Red, blues, greens, yellows. You'll be taking Roy G. Biv. You'll be swallowing the rainbow every single time. Red, what is it? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. All the colors of the rainbow, a handful of pills down your throat every morning and every night. Take 12 of these and call me in the morning.